afternoon, students. So let us begin with yet another exciting session of biology. We have started with lesson number 6, tissues. Under that we have categorized the tissues into two different categories, that are nothing but plant tissues and animal tissues. Under plant tissues we have started studying about the types of plant tissues. First, main two types are meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. So meristematic tissues and its types we have already studied about. Then we have started with the permanent tissues. Permanent tissues are also of two different types, simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. In simple permanent tissues, we have started with three different types of simple permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues are the tissues which are actually involved in the growth and development of the plant. But they are very simple and they perform very simple functions like protection of the parts of the plant, storage of food and such, or given a mechanical support or flexibility to the plant. That these are the simple functions which are performed by these simple permanent tissues. And all the cells are one and only one type. There is no difference in between the cells. All the cells present in these simple permanent tissues are of same type. So there are no differentiation between these cells. They are made up of same kinds of cells. So they are simple permanent tissues. Under simple permanent tissues, we have studied two types of simple permanent tissues. First is parenchyma. Parenchyma, when the chlorophyll is present in it, it is called as Sclerenchyma, and when the air gaps, air cavities are present in parenchyma, they are called as Parenchyma, that we have studied. Then we have seen Sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is present in the stalks, in the stems or in the roots of the plants, which provide the mechanical support and flexibility to the plant, especially in bending. Mostly Sclerenchymatous tissues are present in aquatic animals, in the stems of aquatic animals. So what happens when the water is flowing? At that time the plant needs to be bend here and there, and that bending is provided to the stem by the Sclerenchymatous tissues. That is the main function of Sclerenchyma. Even for the terrestrial plants also, when the winds are blowing very fast, wind currents are very fast, that time the plants bend here and there, they won't get cut off. Why? Because of presence of this Sclerenchymatous tissues. Now we are going to study the third and very important type of simple permanent tissues, that is nothing but Sclerenchyma. Okay, sclere means like you can say it as thread-like structure. So they are Sclerenchyma. Scleres are nothing but threads. So it is said as Sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma are dead tissues. Okay, the cells present in the Sclerenchyma tissue are dead. Up till now we have seen parenchyma, live cells, Sclerenchyma, live cells. Meristematic tissues, live cells are present. This is the first tissue which we are now studying, which has all dead cells. These cells are totally dead. So when the cell gets matured and when it turns dead, then it is going to form the Sclerenchyma. So the cells in Sclerenchyma are dead. Okay, they are elongated in structure. Okay, they are lengthwise quite long in structure. So they are elongated. Okay, and they are actually present in the coverings of seeds and nuts. They are present in the harder parts of the plants. Like if you will see, the main big trunk of the plant has the outermost covering. After epidermis, the Sclerenchyma is present. Okay, so after epidermis, the Sclerenchyma is present, which is a protective tissue which actually actually protects the inner parts of the plants from external injuries, from invasion of microbes. So it is protective in nature, and it is present in the large big trunks of the plants, in the coverings of fruits, in the coverings of seeds, in the coverings of nuts, and they are also present in the root hairs, so as to protect the root hairs from the mechanical injuries. So this is how the Sclerenchyma tissues are very helpful. I can give you example, very popular example of Sclerenchyma tissue is nothing but husk of coconut. Okay, when you take the coconut and when you start peeling it off, when you peel it, that time the thread-like structures are observed, and that thread-like structures are made up of Sclerenchyma. Okay, so they are sclerenchymatous tissues. I hope you understood all these three types of simple permanent tissues. First is parenchyma. Second is parenchyma. And third is sclerenchyma. So these are the three types of simple permanent tissues. Okay, now we are going to study the different type of tissues, and that are nothing but protective tissues. They are protective tissues. Now these protective tissues are obviously, as they are protective tissue, they are present in the coverings, in the outermost part of the parts of the plants. That's why they are protective. So there are two different protective types of tissues. First is the epidermis, and second is the cork. First is the epidermis and second is the cork. So epidermis is the outermost layer, thin one single cell. It is made up of just one single cell, thin layer present in the outermost parts of the stem, of the leaf, of the flower, of the fruit, or even in root. In all these structures, the outermost layer is made up of epidermis. This is just one single cell thick. Okay, just made up of one single cell. So if you can see this, so this is the epidermis, just one single cell. It has a waxy coating on it, and this waxy coating is called as cuticle. It is made up of cuticle. So this cuticle is a waxy coating which protect the loss of water from the various parts of the plant, invasion of microbes inside the various parts of the plant, and also helpful in the process of mechanical support. So this waxy coating is present above the epidermis. It is for the upper epidermis. If you see to the lower epidermis of especially green parts of the plants, it may be the green leaf, it may be the green stem. In the green parts of the plant, the lower epidermis, if you see, this is the lower epidermis, and this lower epidermis is made up of the guard cells, and these guard cells are of stomata. So the lower epidermis has the presence of stomata in them. Stomata is helpful for exchange of gases in the plant, and it is also helpful for the transpiration process. That means loss of water through the plants. That is the function of stomata and eventually the function of epidermis. So this epidermis is the protective covering present in the plants. So I hope you understood about the epidermis. Now the second nothing but cork. It is made up of cork. Even it is present in the roots also, which help the roots for the greater absorption. It protects the loss of water, invasion of microbes, and also protect the plant for remaining stiff and stout. So that is the function of cork. So here we finish with the protective tissues. After this, complex permanent tissues are there, which we are going to study in our next session. So I am going to stop here with the simple permanent tissues and with the protective tissues. I hope you understood about them. Thank you.